What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and I'm back again with another video. So the topic that I'll be discussing in this video today is in regards to a reaction video that exposes why women manipulate men from a woman's perspective. Right? So let's basically get into this video, and y'all basically want to see why women do what they do from female nature. Right? So let's get into this video. Y'all gonna see the screen recording pop up on the screen in a couple of seconds, but let's get into it.
I've been talking about the behavior of women and men's rights issues, etc. for a fair amount of time, and I'm continually asked if I can come up with a list that explains female behavior and how they manipulate men. This is extremely difficult to do because women are information gatherers. That's their currency, that is power to them. And the first thing that women do with men is to study them and to figure out how to manipulate them specifically. It's always catered to the individual that they're targeting. So you can't just come up with a generic list. What I've come across recently, a show called Snapped, introduced me to some specific cases of women who've been busted, either trying to kill their husband or having successfully killed them. And I liked this series because they have courtroom footage and interrogation footage of the women, which allows us to observe their behavior. I'm going to take one specific and rather stunning case of a woman called Dalia Dippolito. And this was a highly publicized case because the sting operation that caught her was dramatically played out. They didn't just catch her soliciting an assassin, they went through the entire scenario with their undercover cop and then setting up a crime scene, calling her to the crime scene, telling her that her husband was dead, and then recording all of this footage.
The car wired for video and audio.
Hey.
We're staying in Paris.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, he looks good.
And then interrogating her, pretending that they were, felt really bad for her, and they just wanted information to try and figure out who might have done this, and then revealing to her on camera in the interrogation room that they had caught her on tape hiring the assassin, and the game was up, and her husband was still alive. They brought him to the door of the room that she was in, and her reaction to seeing him actually alive, all of this sinking in live time.
Oh my God.
He's alive.
Come here, please. Come here. Mike, come here. Come here, please. Come here.
Can't fix it.
Why not? I didn't do anything
I
to
heard
you.
you.
Mike, come here, please. Come here.
I'll link to all the footage below, and I'll link to coverage of the cases below. I'm not going to go through the footage of the case because this can be written off as just one psychopath. I'm going to look at some really amazing, I would say footage, but it's actually just audio recording of her.
I just want to stop it right there, and I want to ask one question. So, did the woman try to kill her husband because she wasn't able to manipulate him? The reason I would say so is because women are territorial by nature, and they want to have a sense of belonging for where you're doing something and where they're doing something. So what I believe is that if there isn't a way for her to be able to control you, her killing you and being able to take all your property might have been another option, what she should have, or what she tried to do. That's really crazy. Shake my head. Let's get back into this video, man.
Phone call right after all this goes down, her phone call to her husband, and the techniques that she employed to try and manipulate him, even after he knew that she had tried to assassinate him.
Already. I'm positive, like 5,000% sure.
All right, so the basic rundown is this. Michael Dippolito had spent time, before he met Dalia, had spent time in prison for financial fraud. He was in jail for 9 months. He was connected to some really shady people. And when he was released, he'd agreed to pay restitution to the victims of his crime. He had a fair bit of money put away. He bought a house after they got married. It was a really brief affair prior to their wedding, I think about 3 months. And right after they got married and he bought this house, Then all of a sudden his life turned to hell. He had somebody calling in with anonymous tips to the police saying that he was dealing steroids and various types of drugs out of his house. And they kept on going in with a search warrant and not finding anything. At one point, drugs had actually been planted on his vehicle, and he managed to convince them that he was being set up because the police knew that that was not the crime that he'd previously committed. He had nothing to do with drugs. It was financial fraud. His house got put into Dahlia's name, in part because he was talking about paying off his restitution really quickly and getting off probation. He was on probation for something like 32 years, and as a result of his probation, he couldn't move. They couldn't go where they wanted to go, and he said, well, our life's going to be better if I deal with this. And she saw $100,000 that he had put away was going to disappear. And she also found out that having the house in her name didn't really do much for her because she still needed his signature. So she was behind all of these phone calls. She was seeing other guys, and she...
See what I said? Basically proved my point. She wanted to eliminate him so she can be able to take all of his property. Women will either try to manipulate you for you to give them things, or they're going to try to eliminate you if they can try to take away all of your things. Or they're going to just completely walk away if they know that you're untouchable. And they've completely messed up. She tried to eliminate him to take all of his things. That's crazy. That's wild. This is female nature for you, man. Let's get back into this video.
It was through proxy violence, getting them to set him up. And then she decided to up her game and actually try to have him killed. So she goes to one of the guys that she was sleeping with, and he thought the whole thing was kind of insane. He ended up going to the police and telling them about it, saying, look, like, I'm sleeping with the guy's wife, but, you know, this guy's going to die if I don't say something here. She's very serious. So they set him up with cameras and then had him connect her to an undercover policeman who posed as this assassin. And they recorded everything. They had all this footage, but the police played it out so that they set up the crime scene and then called her and told her that he was dead, recorded her reaction, and then recorded all the footage of what she had to say about who she thought might have killed him, and listened to her story. Then they confronted her with the fact that she'd been set up and that they had the footage to prove that it was her. She denied it, and then they presented Michael in the doorway, and her reaction to that is part of what I'm going to be talking about. And more significantly, the phone call that she made to him from the police station before they took her to jail. And this is a really great example of the types of things women do, not just this woman. What she did could be written off as sociopathic, psychopathic, whatever, but the techniques that she employed to try and rescue her are just the female technique. This is female manipulation. And we have this great audio of the way that they do this. So let's get into it.
Come here, please. Come here. Mike, come here. Come here, please. Come here.
Can't fix it.
Why not? I didn't do anything
I
to
heard
you.
you.
Mike, come here, please.
You hear what she's trying to say? This is why I said that females can never be accountable for their actions. Society will never hold females accountable for their actions. She basically tried to set this dude up to get killed because he had so much money and she could have benefited off of his money. But when she got caught in the act by the police, what did she do? Mike, come here, please. Please come here. Making it seem like she didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. That's what she's saying. I didn't do anything. Obviously you did. You tried to get the man killed over his own belongings. This is crazy, bro. This is why you have to be careful of females like this, because females like this will give you signs before they do anything to you that they are deadly. Stay away from these types of women, bro. These types of women are deadly. This is wild, bro. Let's get back into it, man.
Please. Come here.
So step number 1, come here. Come here, please. Come here, please. And acting all distraught and crying and stuff. What she wants to do is get him into her zone so that he's close to her. Men are so vulnerable to female skin. It's really soft in comparison to male skin, and it has this psychological effect on them, as well as just being close to her. I would guess that if he came close to her, she would have pressed her body against him, then she would have touched his face softly, and she would have looked at him with these big, sad doe eyes, this childish expression that will then make him more vulnerable to her because he wants to protect her. And for this to work, she has to get him close to her. So that's why she keeps repeating this. And now for the phone call.
Hello? Yeah, what's up?
Nothing, Mike. Please come here.
So again, right off the start, it's come here. And she'll get a little bit stronger with that. She wants him in her physical presence because that will make all the difference.
Hey, listen, I'm not want to fight with you. Honestly, I can't help you. Don't you understand what just happened?
What they're saying is not true.
Oh my gosh, that's so disgusting. Like, this is just disgusting. You are caught in the act of trying to assassinate this man, and now you're trying to make it seem like what they're saying is not true. But I promise you wouldn't be saying those same words if you did kill him, if you did get away with killing him, right? That's crazy.
How is that possible?
Like, I'm sitting here. It's not true. It's not possible. You wouldn't even give me 2 minutes to talk to you, but it's not possible. What they're saying is not true.
Start out with a blanket denial, and
I think the crazy part about it is that this guy doesn't have any respect for himself, and he keeps calling her babe. She obviously doesn't see you as babe because she tried to kill you, but you won't allow yourself to detach from this world that is blue-pilled, and they don't want us men to be on our masculine principles. This is what happens when you're a man that's not on his masculine principle. You allow women to manipulate you. Let's get back into this video.
you know me. So she's trying to eliminate all of the actual facts that are in her way, and she's trying to get him in a personal space with her.
How in the hell did I hear it and see it?
I heard what you heard. It's not true. I heard what you heard and I saw what you saw. Everything they showed you, they showed me.
And how is it not? How are you telling me that?
I
It's not
am giving you my word that it's not true.
So here you have a psychological bonding. I've heard what you heard and I saw what you saw. So she's saying it's like, I'm connected with you. We both know the same thing. She's giving him her word as if her word hasn't just been reduced to shit.
What do you, I couldn't help it if I wanted to.
Like, please, I need an attorney. Can you please help me? It's not true.
So he mentions the word help, and she grabs onto that, and she says, I need an attorney, can you please help me? Right? So she's gone from just saying, I didn't do it, to, can you please help me? Because that's the key word in what he said. That's the only thing she has to work with right now.
Your brother was here and I spoke to him. He's going to go talk to your mom. I called him for you already, right?
Why are we born to be simps in this society? Do you not realize that this woman just tried to eliminate you from the surface of this earth, and you're still trying to help her so she can come out and completely eliminate you? She doesn't care about you. She cares about what she can gain from you. Let me repeat myself again. She doesn't care about you. She only cares about what she can gain from you. This is completely crazy. This is so crazy. Like, bro, we're gonna stop it here. We're gonna stop it here. This is completely crazy. These are the types of women that you have to be cautious of, because these are the types of women that manipulate men, and they don't care about men's reaction. They just care about what they can gain from men. You have to be cautious of the types of women that you give your energy to, because a lot of these women are out here just to be able to take from you and not give you anything back in return. If you understand, it's because you're woke. But if you do not understand, you're not woke. This is going to be the end of this video. If you like this video, make sure you go spam that like button. Leave comments. We are a family. This is the woke family. I am Wokey Bucks. Leave me your comments. You feel what I'm saying? I will respond, and y'all also respond to each other as well too. We are a family. We are growing every day, right? Share this video with as many people as you can possibly share this video. Let us continue to grow as a family. Subscribe to the channel at Wokey Bucks. WOKEEBUKS. Tap the notification bell to get all latest videos that I post. Patreon link and social media links will also be down in the description below. So make sure you give that a check. Without further ado, this is going to be the end of this video. This is Walt Q Bucks, and I'm out, man.